Halfway through this journey of life, I woke up and found myself lost in a dark digital forest. My days were consumed by screens, endless notifications, and mindless scrolling. The constant barrage of trivial yet addictive content had left me adrift, far from the path of purpose I once knew. Confused and fearful, I stumbled forward until I reached the edge of a great abyss. I stood at the mouth of an inferno of information, a wicked place where souls are tormented by their digital vices. I wanted to run away, but there was also a part of me that wanted to confront the horrors that lurk below. And who knows, maybe I would find glimmers of hope and self understanding in this dark place. So I began my descent. Join me as I make my way down through the 7 levels of brain rot hell. Level 1, the clickbait cesspool. As we enter the shadowy depths, we're greeted by the stench of sensationalist headlines that scream for attention. You won't believe what happens next, and 10 shocking secrets revealed. With each click, we're met with the stupidest slideshows of banal non-news that were clearly put together by an unpaid intern. The air is thick with the scent of charred disappointment. You can hear the cackle of demons as yet another victim falls for the old "Number 7 will blow your mind." Spoiler alert, it never does. Amid the fiery torment appears a book which glows with an eerie light. The Attention Merchants by Tim Wu, which shows us how the media industry commercializes, captures, and exploits our attention with a constant onslaught of low-quality content. Level 2, the Meme Void. As we descend deeper, we enter a dim room. The walls are covered with screens displaying overused memes. Souls here are doomed to swipe endlessly through images of Pepe the Frog, Doge, and distracted boyfriend. Laughter here is a ghostly echo as hollow as the memes themselves. Every attempt to escape only leads to more and more mindless garbage that slowly starts to take a nihilistic, pessimistic turn. More ironic, more abstract, more surreal, more deep fried, until the only memes that remain are pitch black void memes. A book flashes on screen for just a second, Understanding Media, the Extensions of Man by Marshall McLuhan, which reminds us that the way we consume information shapes our reality as much as the content itself. Level 3, the Notification Chamber. We find ourselves in a huge hollow room that constantly echoes with the incessant pinging of notifications. Souls are glued to their devices, eyes bloodshot from the constant barrage of pings. Your friend liked a post you were tagged in. Plays endlessly, a cruel symphony of false hopes substituting actual connections you could be making in the real world. Each buzz is a tiny electric shock administered to mimic the chill you get in your spine when you connect with someone at a deep level in the real world. Over time, you lose the ability to feel that chill again. The real world? What does that even mean anymore? In the only silent corner of the notification chamber sits a book, Reclaiming Conversation by Shelley Turkle, which talks about the decline of face-to-face communication and its negative impact on empathy and meaningful relationships in the digital age. Level 4, the Doomscroll Dungeon. We now enter the Doomscroll Dungeon, a dark, oppressive cavern where every swipe brings news of disaster. Souls are condemned to an eternity of being bombarded with headlines about disasters, wars, and political scandals. The walls are lined with screens flashing the latest catastrophes, burying hope under layers and layers of despair. These trapped souls begin to believe that the world is and was nothing more than a great, big disaster. Flickering on a nearby screen is The Chaos Machine by Max Fisher, which reveals just how invested digital media companies are in keeping you glued to the screen, and you begin to suspect whether you're just a cog in turning human tragedy into content. Level 5, the TikTok Trap. Next, we're thrust into a frantic maze of screens showing short looping videos. Souls run through the maze to stop their sanity from being shattered by inane dance challenges, pranks, and lip syncs. As soon as they think they're about to turn a corner and escape the maze, souls loop right back to where they started. Time here is meaningless. Days blur into nights in a continuous stream of mind-numbing content. Just one more video becomes the eternal refrain of the damned, each clip more vacuous than the last. A book appears in the crimson sky above the maze. It's Neil Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death, which warns us about how the prioritization of entertainment over critical thought reduces us to a Huxleyan hunger drive for shallow, trivial content. Level 6, the algorithm's web. We wake up in a holographic web controlled by a malevolent AI spider who predicts your every move. Souls are fattened on a personalized stream of content that preys on their deepest fears and desires. The AI spider knows them better than they know themselves, adapting constantly to keep them engaged. First, they see more of what they think they want to consume. Then, they slowly lose the ability to know what they want to consume. Finally, they consume only what the algorithm wants them to consume. There is no escape from its grasp as it learns and perfects its torment with every passing second. But if you look closely, you'll find a book in the corner of the digital lattice. You Are Not a Gadget by Jaron Lanier, which warns of a future where humanity is reduced to mere data points, mere users, as individuality and free will dissolve in favor of predictive control. We fall deeper still through the heart of the darkness until we reach Level 7, the Frozen Infinite Scroll. We enter the 7th level. It is no longer scorching hot. On the contrary, it's freezing cold and desolate. A dark wind blows. As we walk through this valley of shadows, we find a pale, solitary figure entombed in a towering column of ice. His fingers are poised over a ghostly smartphone, displaying an infinite feed. With his bloodshot eyes wide open, he scrolls endlessly, trapped in a forever loop of consumption. The cold bites deep, but the true agony is the endless search for something, anything that might bring satisfaction. But it never comes. Suddenly, we realize there is no way out of here. We are trapped here too. It feels like we've been here forever. With nothing to do, bored out of our minds, we too pick up a device and begin to scroll endlessly. Frost begins to form around our feet. Surely, we are trapped here forever. But suddenly, a small, still voice cuts through the noise. It says, "The way out is within." It is the voice of mindfulness itself, offering a path out of the inferno. We close our eyes, take a deep breath, and drop the device. The ice begins to crack and melt. With each breath, the weight of digital torment lifts, and we are suddenly back on the surface. The air feels fresher, the sky looks brighter than it ever did, and we find a book lying on the ground. It's Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn, a beautiful guide to living in the present moment. The journey through the 7 levels of brain rot hell is over. The key to our escape, now and forever, will be this: our inherent power to disconnect from devices and engage with the present moment that is always within our reach. You are now at the end of the video. Turn off your screen, go outside, and touch some grass.